outside, di ba?
Oh.
But you know, how can a worker pay 30,000 a month, di ba? That's why, actually, 5 years ago, we've already seen this mismatch. That's why dorms are gonna come into play. That's why the big boys, Ayala, SM, Robinsons, are now getting into the dorm business.
Space, yeah.
It's a natural effect because we're dominantly a worker market in BGC.
Okay.
Yes, number 4.
So, okay, what's the next step to make yourself a very, very successful
Real estate rental, no?
Yeah, getting
put
rental.
everything in writing.
Okay.
There you go. That's gonna be my most important tip. Every time you go to a meeting with your tenant, write things down, write things down, write things down. Sometimes nasabi mo, but it was received differently. Yeah. Iba eh. So,
that happens. Oh, that happens. Yeah.
it helps protect the relationship. Put everything in writing, emphasize, am I clear that after this, I will charge you this one? Is it clear between us?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's always about win-win.
But does it when you say writing, does it have to be notarized or everything has to pass through an attorney? It's a legal document.
The safest way is for your contract to eventually become like your notes, wherein your conditions are there. For example, if you're allowing pets, what's gonna happen if you terminate before.
Hi everyone, this is Marvin Germo. I'm a stock market trader and investor, and I love YouTube because it allows me to share my thoughts, my ideas when it comes to stock trading and investing, because I really believe the stock market is one of the greatest ways for Filipinos to let their money grow. That if you put your money in time deposits, guess what? It really won't go down, but it really also won't go up, and you'll just be beaten by inflation. And the goal of videos like this is to educate you so that you can win and you can trade the markets with confidence. Before we proceed to the next video, would super appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and comment, so you get to be part of this video and you get to see more videos to come in the future. And smash that bell, guys, so that you get updated every time contents like this will come out. So that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video and want to know more about rental and how you can build that passive cash flow for life. Here are Carl D's 6 amazing steps. Number 1.
Okay, I want to give you some tips on rental. So number 1 is identify your market. That's the most important. So just to emphasize, are you renting out your property to expats? Are you renting out your property to corporations? Are you renting out your property to students? To BPO workers? Are you renting out your property to factory workers? So once you identify your market segment, your strategy will follow. Number 1, understand your market.
But among that 5, in your experience, which has the most work? You need to, I guess, put in more time. Commercial, BPO, expats, the
You know what,
low-income
Marvin,
market.
that's a very good question. But I will never ask what has more work.
Okay.
I will always ask, what is the bigger market size?
Actually, yun yung follow-up dun eh.
Okay.
Sige.
Okay, good. But you know what is more work? At some point, it's uncontrollable. Meaning, if let's say your property is in a sector that's for expat, then you have no choice. You have to build it for the expat. If your property is for the BPO worker, for the office worker, then you have no choice. Kahit gusto mo mag-expat, you envy Marvin Germo leasing out 300,000 a month. If your property is in a local market segment, then you just have to do all the work for the local market segment.
Okay.
So just to emphasize, personally, we have both investments in both ranges, from expats to commercial, all the way to BPO worker. So that range we have. So why do we do it that way? Because
You can hit everyone.
number 1, it's okay, di ba? You have expat market segment. When you go to the expat market, you act like an expat market segment, di ba? But when you go to your BPO market segment, you tone down and connect with them. No? But both can make you profits kasi both are paying tenants. Eh.
Margin-wise, which is better?
Margin-wise, okay. Margin-wise, we get good returns with our expat. But just to emphasize, for our expat, 150,000 a month. That's one expat, work for 7 days, and that's it.
Okay.
If you do it in the BPO worker segment, that may be 15 na tao or 15 rooms. Diba? But if your expat naman vacates and then ma-empty ka, that's 150,000 a month of losing money. Pero in the BPO market segment naman, you lose one, madali mo replace. So you have a more, what do you call that, the trading curve, mas steady yung curve mo.
Okay.
Diba?
So from your experience, though, if I have let's just say condos, what has the biggest chance na mababakante siya? The higher end ones or the mid-range or commercial ones?
Wala, it really depends eh. If your high-end property is in a location where supply is low and it's really high demand for expats, then rest assured vacancy will be low. But if your unit is not properly designed, kahit anong hot na market, it will not be rented out. If your property is priced significantly high, even if the demand is strong and you are outrageously priced, baka ma-vacant ka rin. So there are a lot of factors.
So when you said that, no, what came to my mind is Serendra. That
Okay.
expats like Serendra very, very much.
Yes. Serendra is a good property because it's in BGC, di ba? Who doesn't want BGC? And it's near the schools, which is a big catalyst, no? So at one side, it's near the school, so ISM, BSM, Japanese school. And on the other side, there's also office buildings, there are JP Morgan, HSBC, so many global companies with expats. Expats kasi almost big chunk of them are renting. That's why there's a strong demand for Serendra. Plus the garden concept.
Especially for this, no, there's a lot of businesses here that are continuing to come. So the expat market's very strong in BGC. So number one, identify your market. So okay, I already know my market. I already know who to sell. What's my next step?
Number two, package your property well. Just like in any business, in any restaurant, in any product, you package it well. Package meaning you renovate your unit, matching your target market. If it's an expat, make it nice. If it's a low budget conscious market segment, make it decent but price it lower, price it not too expensive. So package your property is number two. So it's the right design, right feel, right price, and overall, it's packaged properly.
Percentage-wise, how much should I allot to design my condo? If it's a 4 million peso condo, how much should be a decent amount already that it looks presentable? Or if it's 10 million, do you have like a, I guess, benchmark percentage to allot for it?
I'm not pretty sure, no, but we've spent, let's say, sometimes 500,000 to 1 million for the expat quality apartments. But let's say
So
for
these are 15 million condos up or higher?
30 plus
30 plus
million.
million. Okay.
So it can go from 500,000 all the way to 2 million. But let's say for small units, let's say na lang na isang studio, let's say a starter studio unit, siguro 300,000 will be a good number.
Okay.
300,000.
So package it, no. But is it also advisable to sell it bare and then or rent it out bare tas bahala na si tenant doon?
Okay, it depends on your market segment. No? So yeah, good question. Kasi there are some market segments that they just want bare kasi they're budget conscious, diba? But there are some market segment naman na they want fully furnished kasi they're expats. For example, ikaw Marvin, if you go to Dubai and you stay there,
Okay.
do you want the bare or furnished?
Furnished.
Furnished, diba? Kasi
Furnished.
you don't want to spend money to go to IKEA and buy it after 6 months, 1 year, alis ka na. Diba?
Kilala ko, business class all the way.
Okay, Marvin.
Okay, so
I wish.
so number one, identify your market. Number
Package
two,
your
package your
property.
property. It has to look very, very attractive. While you were saying that also, I remember this. We have competitors in the same building that's also leasing it out. The better your property is, I guess, the more leasable it will be. Especially with
Better
very,
price,
very,
better renovation, and even your demeanor as a landlord is also important.
Okay.
You don't wanna be na parang untouchable type. You see, like if I was a tenant, no, and I go to I'm in another country where I'm not familiar, and then my landlord is like hindi friendly. I don't want to deal with him. I want somebody who's friendly. Say, hey Carl, I understand you. You're from another place,
yeah.
and I'll be nice to you. Diba? Let's do win-win. Di pwedeng
Alright,
win-lose,
yeah.
diba?
So,
Number three,
you already know how to package it. How do you let people know? What's the next step?
Number three, guys, is to advertise. You don't stop at packaging. Kasi I've seen people, they package it properly, they've identified the market, but lack of advertising. No? But the good news now is, guys, it's easier now to advertise than 10 years ago because of the
Flyering, no joke lang.
Oh, you don't need to flyer anymore ngayon. Kasi ngayon, you have Lazada, Property 24.
Now, you know how to advertise it already. You know how to get the word out. What's the next step?
Well, number four, again, is price it right. So make sure your pricing is reasonable. And yep, that's it. Reasonable conditions, reasonable terms, diba?
Okay, so when you say reasonable, for example, the market rate for rental for this area is 50,000 pesos. What should you do? put it at 45, put it at 55, but make it nicer, or just do it at 50, then fight everyone off sa advertisements and marketing?
Up to you. But they're all doing good business, di ba? So, yeah, you price it right. How do you know what's the right price? Number one, ask around the admin, hey, kumusta dito? How much is the rental that's being taken up by the market? Research in the internet, okay, how much the rent, or just type similar properties, Park Lane, BGC, you see the listings, and identify your market segment. For example, just to exaggerate, you want to rent out your 50,000 property to a neighborhood where their salary is 60,000. So 60,000 salary, 50,000 residential budget cannot be. It's too much.
Very hard.
So you have to analyze, no? So what do you do? Like for example, in BGC, is very strong na sharing of condo. For example, you have a 35,000 a month salary, hati silang apat or tatlo. Okay, they now have a 35,000 a month salary, 8,000 a month housing budget.
Okay.
Diba?
So that happens na pala here. I thought things like that are in Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai.
It happens for a reason, Mark. It happens because you have dominantly working class in BGC. Then there's a mismatch with high-end properties. And that's why nagiging sharing. So that's why you have to be attuned to what's happening in your market.
Okay, question in line with that though. There's a lot of dormitories coming up in BGC. Is that a disruptor in the market also?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a disruptor. Doesn't necessarily mean it's good or bad, but it's just letting the market know that hey, we have so many workers in BGC, but the properties are not designed for workers. Meaning, there's a 36 square meter estate rule in BGC. Nothing is smaller than 36. That's why all the dormitories are outside, di ba? But you know, how can a worker pay 30,000 a month, di ba? That's why, actually, 5 years ago, we've already seen this mismatch. That's why dorms are gonna come into play. That's why the big boys, Ayala, SM, Robinsons, are now getting into the dorm business. It's a natural effect because we're dominantly a worker market in BGC.
Okay.
Yes, number 4.
So, okay, what's the next step to make yourself a very, very successful
Real estate rental, no?
Yeah, getting
put
rental.
everything in writing.
Okay.
There you go. That's gonna be my most important tip. Every time you go to a meeting with your tenant, write things down, write things down, write things down. Sometimes nasabi mo, but it was received differently. Yeah. Iba eh. So,
that happens. That happens. Yeah.
it helps protect the relationship. Put everything in writing, emphasize, am I clear that after this, I will charge you this one? Is it clear between us?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's always about win-win.
But does it when you say writing, does it have to be notarized, or everything has to pass through an attorney?
Well,
it's a legal document.
The safest way is for your contract to eventually become like your notes, where your conditions are there. For example, if you're allowing pets, what's gonna happen if you terminate before the contract finishes? You will be forfeiting your security deposit worth 2 months, worth 300,000. So everything is spelled out, and then you avoid being stressed in the future.
Number 6, be a good landlord.
Last is be a good landlord. Be a good landlord. Take care of your tenants. I've seen a lot of landlord na hands off. They say, no, I don't wanna listen to what your requests are. I don't wanna listen to your needs. Basta we've signed a deal. That's it. I mean, sabi nga, di ba, what's the golden rule? Do unto others what you want others to do unto you, no? So, ako, I always remember, what if I was in another place and I was the tenants and I'm lost and I don't know what to do? What kind of landlord do I want? Maybe somebody who's supportive, somebody who's encouraging, somebody who like explains things, di ba? They might say no, but they would courteously explain things to me, di ba? So, difficult. You try to avoid being in this situation, di ba? Wherein your mutual win-win. So I've had checks bounce before, no? So first thing you do is you reach out. You say, hey, tenant, hey, how's everything? Kamusta? What happened? Oh, kasi Carl, business, I wasn't able to do collection and all. So you say, okay, sige, tenant, you know what? Kasi I have bills to pay also, and I'm really counting on your rent to pay for my bills also. I have bank mortgage. You think you can fund this like next week and all? Or I'll also bounce my check to the other person, no? So it's really cause and effect, di ba? It's a train, railroad yan eh.
Okay.
So talk nicely, di ba? And hopefully you get them there. if you don't get them there, you start to cut your loss down. Always remember, peace of mind is more important than money. Never lose sleep over somebody else, di ba?
So what's the worst thing that can happen? Eviction na, gano'n?
The worst thing that can happen is you don't get your rents paid.
Okay.
That's part of the business. It
Okay.
happens when you have a business, when you have a restaurant, when you're in a trading business, pwedeng may collectibles ka na hindi mo na-collect. It's part of business. So try to be nice, and then go for exit.
Okay. Until how many months should be a good threshold that they haven't been paying already?
Okay.
How long until you'll say na, okay, I'm being nice to you, but maybe it's time to go?
Personally, 2 months is extremes for me na. Okay. First month's check bounce, I want to collect that in 2 weeks. If I don't collect that 2 weeks, I'm still nice. But when I put the phone down, I'm calling my lawyer on the other side. Yeah? Not to threaten, but to
Okay.
protect you.
Okay.
Hey attorney, I'm in this trouble. Can you help me? Because you want to do it legally. You don't want to like act on your impulse and and be on YouTube, di ba? Depending on your work, if you're an IT guy, try to share out your skills to friends, di ba?
Okay.
So when you're an IT guy, you help out your lawyer friend fix his computer, you help out your accountant friend fix his computer,
So parang you share
you
ideas.
help out your stock market guru fix his computer, para you have goodwill.
Okay.
And then kung kailangan mo naman ng small help,
Okay.
diba? It's win-win.
Parang
Hindi pwede
swap.
naman take lang ng take, diba? Kailangan give first before you take, diba?
Very good. Give first before you
Give first
take.
before you take.
So these are Carl D's 6 steps on how we can be
Alright.
an amazing property investor.
Thank you. See you in the next